This build was brought to you by a viewer suggestion by the user Icarus. Now, I have very little experience with this show, so forgive me if I get a few things wrong. With that being said, let us begin. Okay, let me get this straight. This show, which is poorly animated and has very, very poor acting, is about these individuals known as huntsmen and huntresses. And they use these special weapons that they make themselves, mind you, to fight off monsters known as Grimm. That's correct. And furthermore, in addition to using these weapons, they are able to use these special crystals known as dust to cast magic. Also, they can do another form of magic by tapping into their very souls. That is also correct. Okay, I think I've got an idea of how this can translate into Dungeons and Dragons. Who is the character we are creating from this series? We are creating Adam Taurus. He's not a huntsman, is he? Nope. He is actually the leader of the activist/terrorist organization known as White Fang. But he still has one of those weapons. Yep. And he has huntsman training? Yes, he does. At least up to the point where his ex kills him. I see. Okay. I think I got it. Roll intro. Greetings, my dear viewers. Welcome back to Dungeons and Dragons Character Conversion. I am Drahjan, and, well, this is a build on a show I have next to no knowledge about. I did watch a few episodes and could not handle the poor animation and poor storytelling. The concept is good. Poorly executed. I'm sorry, Rooster Teeth, but you guys do good for Death Battle, not for your own show. That's all I gotta say about that. Don't beat me up too badly in the comments section. Anyway, one of the main villains of this series, Adam Taurus, is who we're doing today. So, how am I doing this? Well, let's take this one step at a time so I can thoroughly explain myself. Starting things off, as always, we are using the point-buy system for our stats. Our lowest stats are going to be Constitution and Charisma, each at a 10. Don't worry, this will change as we go throughout the video. Strength is going to be a 12. Intelligence and Wisdom are going to be 13, and Dexterity is our highest score at a 15. Race was somewhat challenging. Adam Taurus is what is known in the RWBY universe as a faunus. Faunus are humanoid beings who look human enough, but have animal characteristics. If you couldn't tell by the horns coming out of Adam's head, he has a faunus heritage of that of a bull. So, my best guess for a conversion of the faunus race is to be using the animal-based races that are already in Dungeons and Dragons. For Adam, that's going to be a minotaur, since it's a bull. Taurus, bull, minotaur. With the minotaur, you get the features of horns, goring rush, hammering horns, and labyrinthian recall. With labyrinthian recall being the only one useful here, since Adam's horns aren't the biggest. Now, I would not blame you for going with the second option, being the human variant. Either way, you're still getting the ability score increases that are necessary for this build. Dexterity, intelligence, and wisdom each getting increased by 1. And this is because of Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, allowing everybody to do whatever with their spreading of their stats. But we're getting our dexterity bonus from our feat gunner, as well as getting a skill in acrobatics. With that being said, we're going on to faction agents, and that is because Adam Taurus is the leader of the terrorist organization known as White Fang. We're going with faction agent so we can get proficiencies in insight and arcana, 2 languages of our choice, and we get the feature Safe Haven. Now, for the fun part, the classes. Starting things off as a ranger. We're going to get a d10 hit die. Let's start out with 10 hit points since we don't have a constitution modifier. And we get proficiencies in the skills athletics, perception, and stealth. We're going to go with the optional features from Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, Deft Explorer, and Favored Foe. Thanks to Deft Explorer, we get the feature Canny, which is a little bit more useful than with the Natural Explorer, since we are in a more futuristic setting in the RWBY universe. Now, we're going to go ahead and go right into the multi-class, and we're going to go with Artificer. This is to reference that you have to build your own weapons in this universe, unless you were able to inherit them from your father or your grandfather. You'll get magical tinkering, some proficiencies in firearms if you didn't use the gunner feat. You also get proficiency in thieves' tools and tinker's tools. And you also get spellcasting, which uses your intelligence modifier. This is why our intelligence was at a 13 at the start of the video, to have this multi-class possible. Same goes for wisdom, being a 14, just for the multi-class. Moving on to level 2 Ranger, we get a fighting style. We're going to grab Druidic Warrior. This will give us 2 cantrips from the Druid spell list. Grab Resistance and Shillelagh, or Shillelagh, however you want to pronounce it, I don't care. This will turn our quarterstaff into a magical quarterstaff that has the same attack die as a longsword. So, cool. A stronger stick. Don't worry, that's not all we're doing with that. I'll explain more later in the build. We get spellcasting as well, which uses our wisdom modifier. Level 2 Artificers gets infuse item. So if you have an actual gun, you can go ahead and get it a repeating shot. That way you don't have to keep making your own ammunition. you could just magically create it every time you fire it, which is cool. Moving on to level 3 Ranger, we need the Ranger Conclave Hunter. We're going with the Hunter's Prey Horde Breaker. This will allow us to attack multiple enemies in a single attack. We also get Prime Evil Awareness, not Primal, Prime Evil. This will let us know if there are any evil creatures within the area. I'm going to assume that Grims are fiends of some kind, so that will be useful for that purpose. Level 4 Rangers get an ability score improvement. Go ahead and increase your dexterity by 2, making it an 18. Level 5 Rangers get an extra attack. Level 6 Rangers get a Deft Explorer improvement. You now have the roving feature. Level 7 Rangers get a defensive tactics. We're going to grab multi-attack defense. This way, if you are hit by one creature, any other creatures that attempt to hit you now have to go against a +4 to your AC. Kind of like your ex and your ex's walking propaganda are trying to kill you. Level 8 Rangers get Land's Stride and an ability score improvement. Go ahead and increase your charisma by 2. Moving on to Artificer level 3. We're going to grab an Artificer Specialist. We're going with the Artillerist. We get tool proficiency in Woodcarver's tools. Our Artillerist spells are going to be Shield and Thunder Wave. That shield's going to be pretty useful. We also get Eldritch Cannon from the Artillerist. We also get the right tool for the job just for being a 3rd level Artificer. Level 4 Artificers get an ability score improvement. Go ahead and increase your charisma to a 14. Level 10 Rangers get a Deft Explorer improvement. You are now tireless. And you also get Nature's Veil. Level 11 Rangers get multi-attack feature. We're going to go with Whirlwind Attack. This will allow us to attack multiple creatures in one single strike, instead of taking our normal attack action. So say we are surrounded by, let's say, 6 Grim. We can just attack all 6 Grim at once. Pretty useful in my opinion. Of course, we are taking different attack rolls for each different attack, but it's still pretty useful. Ranger level 12, we're going to go ahead and grab a feat. Go with the Martial Adept. This allows us to get 2 maneuvers. Grappling Strike and Sweeping Attack are going to be the most useful here. Level 5 Artificer is the reason why we took Artificer in the first place, other than the fact that you created your own flippin' gun. Artillerist spells are Scorching Ray and Shatter, and the Arcane Firearm feature. This turns our quarterstaff into our spellcasting focus, where we can fire our spells that we use our dust from out of. Boom! There's his flippin' sword that turns into a flippin' gun. That is the closest I can get to that weapon as a reference. Use Shillelagh, it is a sword. Use Arcane Firearm, it is his submachine gun looking thingamabobber. Moving on to level 6 Artificer, you get Tool Expertise. Level 7 Artificer gets Flash of Genius. And finally, Artificer level 8. We're going to grab a feat, go with Fighting Initiate, go with Unarmed Fighting. This is because Taurus is skilled in hand-to-hand combat. I would have gone for Monk, but I needed all these other features first. So I decided to just settle for the Fighting Initiate. Unarmed Fighting, fighting style. If I could have gone with it earlier as part of my Ranger's choice, I would have, but I wanted that Shillelagh cantrip. Alright, now we are done with the build. Let's go ahead and talk about our spell list. For your Ranger spells, grab the first level spells Ensnaring Strike, Jump, and Zephyr Strike. For your second level spell, Bark Skin and Pass Without Trace. The Bark Skin is the only reference I can think of to the armor that can be produced by your aura, other than the shield spell, which is automatic for the artillerist. For your third level spells, grab Conjure Barrage and Non-Detection. For your Artificer spells, you get 2 cantrips. Firebolt and Poison Spray are the best damage-dealing spells that an Artificer can get. Firebolt being a 1d10, and Poison Spray being a 1d12. The most powerful cantrip, if you will. First level spells will be Absorb Elements, because of his signature move being to absorb damage and then dishing it out back at the attacker. That's the only reference I can think of for that, because there's no other spells that can do it. Unfortunately, Absorb Elements cannot be upcasted, so yeah, that's literally the best I can do for his signature move. So Absorb Elements, Catapult, Featherfall, and Identify are going to be your best picks for first level spells. Your second level spells will be Heat Metal and Pyrotechnics. Really, there aren't any good spells that deal damage, so your Arcane Firearm is not going to be that useful unless you're using Firebolt, Poison Spray, or Shatter. I think there's another spell that you get along with your artillerist spells. I just don't remember what it was. Now, if you had gone for less Ranger and more Artificer, then you would probably get a few more good spells that you can use with your Arcane Firearm. But we needed more Ranger spells just so we can get all those cool features from the Ranger class to best make an Adam Taurus. And with that being said, that is all the time I have for you today. Icarus, what do you think of this Adam Taurus build? And thank you for the suggestion. I don't think I'll be able to do that Homestuck one you requested. As, well, in all honesty, that show looks much worse than RWBY. And I was barely able to get past a few episodes of RWBY. But, with that being said, this has been Drahjan, and I am offline.